What's up with y'all? Just Rockstar probably back in this motherfucker. Check it out. Percentage levels, you know what I'm saying? When you understand percentage levels is almost in all, no pun intended, percentages of your life, you start to realize that it's more of a space where you can see these things for where they're coming at and for what they are. So you can start to pinpoint and cycle what you're doing that's over the board or you're not doing enough. So when you look at that, you can see that it's important to have a notebook, or not a notebook, but esoteric notebook, to see how far you're going or how far you're not going with something. And you want to make sure you know how to see these things for what they are. And when you're looking at these things, you want to make sure that you're doing all these things in a space of where you know you're the controller of these things. Like I said in my last live stream yesterday, you want to make sure you're the controller, because you have the power to choose. The mind has the power to choose, and you know you're choosing certain mind states. You know that these are things that we can do, and we can go forth in our life to understand these for what they are. Now, understanding that will lead you to a different train of thought, where what you're doing, if you're gonna be in a space where you're actually aiming and looking at these things for what they're doing and what they're leading to, you'll see that you can do stuff, but you can do them only for a certain amount of time, because what you're doing is, like I said, back to percentage level, you're doing something where you're sculpting, or you're awakening, or you're aware. It's the best word, aware of different other shits. So it's only a limited. It's kind of like when you're dreaming, and you're dreaming, and you got these like it's always gonna be a death. Like when you know it was about to end, when certain shit starts to not make sense. It's like stuff like that. When certain shit starts to not make sense, or other stuff, you're like, okay, that's just an example. But there's other examples of where your dream is about to end or some shit like that. Now, kind of like that, you become aware of different. Then you have another dream. You know what I'm saying? Because you know it's about to end, so you're about to. So it's kind of like what you did in the esoteric room, is you died, and you went to a new form, and now you're in a whole new awareness, and that's where, and awareness is the power where you can understand where these things are coming from. You know what I'm saying? But it's all about percentage. I'll go back to what I was saying, and you can look at these things for what they are and start to see where these things are coming from, and you can start to see how you can pinpoint where, if you're going, like I said, if you're going too far, if you're not going far enough, if you haven't even started it yet, or if you started it and you gotta finish it, you gotta stop it, you're done, shit like that. And so that's what it's all about. Understanding that will lead you to better circumstances in your life, and you understand better ways and how to attribute yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all about understanding these things for what they are. You know what I'm saying? So don't get lost in these things, but understand these things for what they are. Because when you understand these things for what they are, it helps you and it betters you. You know what I'm saying? Because what are we down with if we're not down here to better ourselves? And what we doing? You know what I'm saying? And you want to make sure you're always bettering yourself. You know what I'm saying? You want to always make sure you're doing stuff where you're bettering yourself. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. And that can go for both ways, or you know what I'm saying, any way that can help you, or you feel that can help you out. You want to make sure you're always in the space of where you're doing these things and you're in control of all these things. You know what I'm saying? You always want to make sure you're in control, because when you're in control, then you can what's that thing when they chorus the chorus instructor, you start to instruct these things. You know what I'm saying? That's spiritual too. In the chorus instructor, instructor, that's really spiritual too. You know what I'm saying? That's really what we do in the spiritual. That's what we do in our mind. The observer, that's what it does. It creates these things. It uses these things like tools. When you use these things like tools, you can understand where these things are coming from. You know what I'm saying? And that's the best way you can look at these things when you're going through your life and everyday travels. But beyond besides that, that's kind of a video breaking down percentage levels, so y'all can better that, understand where y'all can look at that and see where that can make sense in your life, real shit. And just Spark Star Power, we on this motherfucker.